Hello, Senior Stoner fans. This is the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Carta E-Rig dab of the day. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, everybody. It's Sunday. It's a hot Sunday in New Jersey. Before we start with our Carta E-Rig, I want to talk about a few things with everybody. First, I think I've gotten to the bottom of what's my problem right now, and you're going to laugh and say, Senior Stoner, you got a lot of problems. But the problem is, the doctor prescribed me Prednisone about 3 weeks ago. The lung doctor. And I've been on it ever since. And now what's happening is I have these feelings of pressure on my extremities and chills and heat and chills and heat. And years ago I took Prednisone and I seem to remember similar types of yucky feelings. What do you do when you have to take a medicine that gives you side effects that you just hate? What can you do? Well, a couple things. First of all, Mrs. Stoner, and for any of you out there who have significant others, friends you live with, close acquaintances, make sure they are aware of the problem. You might not think they need to be aware of the problem, but they do in case something bad does happen. Secondly, try to keep yourself busy. Now, I don't do a lot of physical activity, but find a good show on Netflix, on Amazon Prime, on Hulu, on TV, on whatever you watch, on Roku. Find a good book if you can read it. Find a good magazine if you can read it, if you have the presence of mind. I can't do books and magazines right now. Find something to think about. Go online. Research a topic. Play around. Play a game. I guess what I'm trying to say is, in the face of adversity, when you feel the worst, this is not about chronic intractable pain. This is something sometimes people would consider even worse than pain. Because there's an old saying, the pain you know is easier to deal with than the pain you don't know. And in this case, this is pain. It's really discomfort that comes from the side effects of these medicines. And that's the old story of the cure is worse than the disease or worse than the condition. But you have no choice because you have to see how they're going to do for you. And what does happen is prednisone is a steroid. It makes you feel okay, makes you feel better. And then when you come off the steroid, you go back down to where you were. That's a challenge too. But while you're on these medicines, while you're having side effects, while you're feeling yucky, also do your dabs, also smoke a little weed, vape a little bit, do whatever you can do to blend it. You want to blend it. Because let's face it, it's yucky over here, the yucky feeling. Over here might be neutral. Over here might be pleasant. So you want to blend pleasant as much as you can in with the neutral and the yucky, so it dilutes the bad and the harsh. You're not going to get the same pleasantry, but it's going to average out in the wash that you're going to be okay. Because what happens is people don't know what's going on. When you're hit with symptoms and things happening and chills and yuck and all that other stuff, and it's summertime and the air conditioner's not that cold, and you're saying, what is causing all this? You almost have to think out of a box. You almost have to find a reason that's not normal, not in your everyday repertoire. That's what the body seems to notice more, the body and the mind. Something different. I used to say to a doctor of mine about my back that I know that pain. I'm so used to that pain. That's the horrible chronic, my back pain. But when the stomach started, when the IBS came back, even though I had it when I was 16, 17, 18, 19, all the years, 25, 35 years on medicines that were opiates, I didn't feel it until I started to come down off the fentanyl and down off the morphine. So you really have to be prepared emotionally, psychologically, and physically for the unexpected. You've got to be prepared for the unexpected. How many people know about Mad Money? Save for a rainy day. Put the extra 20 in your wallet. Always have cab fare home. You know it. It's a contingency plan. Well, with your body when your body's in flux and a lot of things are going on, you better have a contingency plan for the totally unexpected, for the thing you never thought of, never heard of. You're like, what? Well, that's the thing you're feeling. So you're going to have a method to deal with the unexpected. Can't just be weed. It's got to be discipline, self-control, but also weed. Let's fire up our Carta and take a little dab today. Cheers, everybody. And get on the dab train with Senior Stoner. There she comes, the dab train. The dab train can take you many places, but in many ways, it can't take you anywhere you haven't been already. Does that make any sense? So, I am not in the movie with Patty Duke called Helen Keller. I am not the miracle worker. I'm assuming most of us aren't. So we have to box it out. We have to put a frame around the madness, around the confusion, around the things we don't understand, and then close the frame gradually. And then what we're left with is something we might not recognize, something we might not know, but it's an item that we can deal with. Because with all this, very hard to identify what you're going to have to deal with. When you box things and frame them and metric them and shrink the problem, you're able to get it into a place where it's easier to deal with. This doesn't mean you're going to solve every problem. This doesn't mean you're going to identify every problem. All it means is that when you're faced with adversity that you don't know, like the reaction to steroids I'm having, have contingency plans in place so that you can get it down to the smallest common denominator and say, that's what I'm going to do. For me right now, it'll be lay down. And Senior Stoner is here to tell you he does not lay down in the daytime. I am not a nap person, but I may be forced to be. This is the real Senior Stoner. And today, I'm, again, accepting who I am. I'm accepting what's happened here and trying to deal with it. You've got to accept it too, whatever the situation is, so you can deal with it. This is the real Senior Stoner saying, have a great Sunday, everybody. Cheers.